Hello Uplanders, I'm YK2012, founder of the Upland Guide, and Upland just released this exclusive video of cars entering the Metaverse, and here you can see one of the really cool designs that they have created. We can also see that Upland is giving us a sneak peek into the world of racing within Upland. Here you can see that you can choose a city and actually begin racing. It's unclear if this is going to be against other players or if you're racing against the clock. But here we can see a quick video of the graphics that we will be able to see within Upland. There are some really cool things that I was able to pick out from this video, and I'm going to break that down for you guys in the next couple of minutes. One of the first things in the video that caught my attention was this screen right over here in this building. I'm familiar with this building because this is in San Francisco, and this is the first landmark that was constructed in Upland. This is the San Francisco Golden Gate Ferry Terminal, and we can see here that it actually has its own custom landmark building that is constructed on it, and it looks identical to what we see here in this video. The other thing that we can also see is this apartment building can also be seen right over here. And beyond that, there's another structure, which is most likely this one, which is being constructed at the moment. So I'm going to hit play over here, and we will be able to see the cars drive by the actual locations there. Let's play it one more time just so you have another chance to see it. So here we go, it's driving past the building, and we can actually also see here exactly how the road is split. We can see this green landmass right over here, and that is also what we see within the racing game. A second thing I picked up in these videos is that there is what seems to be lightning coming out from behind some of these vehicles. And what I think this is these are acceleration boosts, because if you see very quickly that this yellow car will very quickly accelerate. Let's see over here, right there. You could see very quick acceleration. Right after, you could see those sparks or those lightning behind the car. The same thing with that red truck over there. It will be very interesting to see what exactly that is. In the middle of me creating this video, I just received an email from Upland with more information about cars. So it just came up as a perfect timing. And in that email, they sent us this picture where we can see a little bit more about what this racing will look like. You can see here that it looks like if you drive along this section here, you are able to get some sort of a speed boost. You can see the map here, and we're playing against other players, and you can see their location and their rank within the map. Here it looks like this helicopter or car or helmet. These are the different views that you can look at within the racing game here, and this looks a little bit different than the video that I just showed you, but nonetheless it looks really interesting, and I'm very excited to learn more about this racing. Within that email, they sent us to this other link, which is upland.me/m-motors, and this is the introductory page about what these Metaverse Motors will be all about. So here we can see it says players will soon be able to leverage their portfolio of NFT cars to participate in activities like transporting goods, ride sharing, racing, and much more. They give us a little bit more introduction here to the different types of cars and what exactly they will be used for. We can see that there are 6 different types of cars within Upland, and each one will most likely have their own utility. And this is the first indication of what exactly they will be used for. So the first one is the Sedan, and it says here that this is probably going to be primarily used for driving. Cars will be used as a means of transportation between cities and within cities in Upland. Much like the real world, some cities in Upland will only be accessible via cars. This Sedan will probably be the cheapest type of car that you can buy within Upland. You will probably want to have this type of car if you are someone who frequents some of these stores or Metaventures, if you travel to the stadiums in order to mint legits. You're going to want to go on your own time. You're not going to want to have to hail a cab or an Uber or wait for someone to come pick you up. So you're going to want to have your own car that you can park at your own home and drive at your own will, just like in the real world. The second type of car is the minivan. And here next to it, it says rideshare. So we can expect that this type of car will be able to take several types of people. It says here players will now be able to connect while they travel together to other cities in Upland. Ride sharing will also support a growing services economy with the ability to transport cargo of any kind within Upland cities. Let's say maybe you live in San Francisco and you want to travel to New York, Manhattan in order to attend a specific event that is going on there. You own a car in San Francisco, but you don't have one in Manhattan. So once you take a flight over to Manhattan, you might need someone to pick you up from that airport and drive you into the city. This is where you will be able to maybe pay someone a small fee, like an Uber, for them to take you from one place to another. Next is the sports car, which will be used for racing. Racing will be the first fully immersive Unity-based experience in the Upland Metaverse, allowing players to compete with each other in both Upland-sponsored and player-generated races. Optimize both your car and driver NFT traits to supercharge performance and dominate the competition. Here we see player-generated races, and again this is what Upland had hinted to, where players will be able to define their own racetrack within Upland based on the real world. So if you're familiar with planning a trip using Google Maps or something like Waze, you will be able to define different points on a map and use those to create a racetrack of your own within your neighborhood for your friends, or maybe for other Uplanders to come and learn a little bit about the city or the neighborhood by racing through it. It also mentions here that you will be able to optimize both your car and driver NFT traits, and we knew about the driver NFT traits because they had said that the block explorers will become the drivers of the cars, and that each of these NFTs, which are your block explorers, will have different traits and different abilities. Some will be better than others at different types of races or different parameters of racing itself. The car will also be able to be optimized for its performance. When cars are produced in different batches or lots, it's possible that not every lot is the same and not every car is the same. Some will turn out better than others, some might break down faster than others, and that's just the way the real world works. And it looks like the same thing will be true within Upland. So the combination of different levels of cars that have better or worse performance, in addition to drivers as your block explorers, some of which will be better than others, makes infinite permutations and combinations of the cars and drivers that you can have in order to compete against other players. It also says here you will be able to supercharge performance and dominate the competition. We know that Upland is a play-to-earn game, so it will be interesting to see exactly how players are able to earn by winning car races, and that will mean that some players will end up investing a lot of UPEX or a lot of money in order to make sure that they have the best cars and the best drivers in order to come out on top in these races. Next we have pickup trucks, and next to that it says Metaventures. The Metaverse Motor economy will be powered by the players, allowing them to operate a variety of new Metaventures such as showrooms, in brackets dealerships, body shops, racing academies, and more. We also have here the semi-trailer, and here it says Enterprise. Real-world car brands and car enthusiasts now have a natural entry point to bring the automotive industry into the metaverse. The rapidly growing digital goods economy is the next step in connecting brands with their communities. A hotbed for Web3 innovation, Upland is the perfect place to extend your presence into the digital world. These pickup trucks and semi-trailers will probably be used to transport goods that are manufactured, such as outdoor decor items or cars themselves, from the manufacturing plant to dealerships. You might also find that your car breaks down in the middle of the road, and just like in the real world, you're going to need someone to come and tow it. So that might end up being either a semi-trailer or this pickup truck as well, to take it to the body shop for repairs. If you want to go and get a custom paint job or something like that, that will also be another type of meta-venture that players will be able to open up. Racing academies will be the ability for people to use these cars and block explorers in order to train themselves as drivers to improve their skills at driving. Similar to treasure hunting, it takes a lot of practice. So if you want to be a good driver, you're probably going to have to practice at that as well. And if you practice with certain cars or with certain block explorers, you will be able to get some experience with them, and that might give them some additional points or boosts or abilities when driving these cars. Players who own many block explorers probably don't have the time to race them all, so they will be able to rent them out to additional players and share in the earnings that are made during the races. If a player uses a rented out block explorer to win a race, then he will probably split the earnings with the car owner. And that is probably what we're going to be seeing in these racing academies. With everything that was laid out here, as Upland has said, it is very clear how a real-world car brand or other brands that are related to cars and transportation can easily find themselves entering into the Web3 innovative space, into the metaverse, and creating and growing their brand and presence within Upland. Lastly, we have the sixth type of vehicle in Upland, and this is the SUV. It doesn't exactly say what this one will be used for, but it might be very similar to that of the personal car or the sedan, where the SUV might be a little bit more expensive, but you may also be able to not only carry passengers, but maybe if you wanted to transport an NFT from one place to another as well, or deliver a good, the SUV might be something that has a little bit more capacity. This is just the very beginning, and I'm starting to speculate a little bit more, as you can see here, about what we will be able to do. This is a very exciting time to be a part of Upland, and if you haven't joined yet, take a look at the description below to see a link in order to find out all the promotions that the Upland Guide provides if you sign up with our link. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, leave us any questions or comments, and like this video.